Is this recording? Hi, my name is Samugele Mube and welcome to my channel. So I am building The Thread, which is a podcast that explores identity through the lens of style. This is week 1 of building The Thread in public, and I'm really excited to share this journey with you. The reason that I am building The Thread is because I am a fashion girly through and through, and it's something that I fell in love with even more after becoming a mother. In 2022, I was expecting my first baby, and for those of you who may have gone through the journey yourselves, your body just changes so much through pregnancy, and it was probably 2 years before I could put on a pair of jeans again. Throughout pregnancy and also postpartum, I couldn't wear a lot of, probably 90% of the clothes that I used to wear and love. And at that point, I felt like I had finally built up the wardrobe that I loved, and it really sucked to not be able to wear those clothes anymore. After becoming a mother, it's just such a huge identity shift from going from this individual person, and then now you have the new beautiful role of becoming a mother, and there's just so much that comes with it. And for me, I just felt like I was lacking that sense of self. And one thing a girl can do is recreate herself. And I saw this as an opportunity to create myself again. And for me, what that looks like, a lot of it is starting on Pinterest, also journaling, really defining my ideal self is and what that highest self of me looks like.
If you just know you're that girl, yeah, you just have no choice but to be that girl.
I really got crisp on who I envisioned myself to be. And it was interesting in addition to how I show up and my values, etc. But one of the things that made it more tangible for me was what the highest version of me wears. Over time, I started to gravitate towards those things that I felt like embodied me. And if you know me, I'm a Kai girl through and through. And a lot of that for me was somehow Kai just embodied that version of me. And I remember the day I made, I think it was probably my first Kai order. It came, I put it on, I looked at myself in the mirror, and I'm like, yeah, that's her right there.
Oh my God! Wow!
It wasn't just the clothes. I'd just done so much internal work. I'd been working out really consistently. I got my hair done in a way that I'd wanted to do for a really long time. My nails were done in a way that I'd wanted to do for a really long time. And just seeing everything together, for the first time, I felt like, wow, this is me. I am here. I'm finally embodying the version of me that I've been working so hard to bring to life. For me, that was really the beginning of my journey into style. Like, I feel like style is not a destination. It's something that continues to grow and evolve with time and with as we go through different life stages. So I'm really excited to be able to share this journey. I feel like a lot of the people who have their own very defined sense of style have some kind of journey that brought them there. And throughout this podcast, I'm really excited to be able to dive into those stories, to see how they became who they are, also to share some tips on how you can be able to find your own sense of style. And another thing that I really would love to explore, because I feel like the world of fashion is so consumeristic and really driven by purchases and just spending money. But I feel like it's also important to discuss the financial side of things. How can you build this beautiful life and be able to show up in the world as your highest self without breaking the bank and also building wealth? That's also one of the conversations I'd love to have, and really exploring the intersection of identity and fashion and how clothing and style helps to communicate who you are to the world. So I'm actually a marketer by trade. I love to, and I'm really good at things like building websites, building the actual content. I love an email newsletter. I love to design and create all of those things. And sitting down and speaking is something that has been really nerve-wracking for me. So I feel like I've been focusing on everything else and avoiding coming to sit down and do this. But all that to say, where we're at right now is I'm ready to actually talk, interview people, share my story, share their stories with the world. Yesterday, I actually went to a conference for women, and it's actually quite timely because we're at the end of Women's History Month, and it was just such a beautiful gathering of women together. And I share, because I've been going back and forth a lot in my mind, is this even something that people would find value in? Because I know when I listen to podcasts, I'm like, key takeaways. I want the things that I can take and be able to apply and make myself better and all of that stuff. So I was really questioning the value of this podcast, but being able to get fresh perspectives on it. And also sometimes people are just looking for something light, and the value of sharing the styling and styling tips. For me, that was something that I really needed to hear and helped me to, like, I believe in this podcast. That's why I'm doing it. But it's also nice to have that validation as well. This is something that people want. I think that really helped to give me that fire to be able to come and like bring this to life and sit down and actually do it. One of the reasons I'm sharing the journey as I'm building this podcast is because for a lot of people who are building something, a lot of the times if you don't have a co-founder or anything, it's just you and your mind. It's hard to always be the one to pick yourself up and push yourself each and every time. What I'm learning, or at least something that I really learned this week, is the power of community as we're building these things. There's an African proverb that I love, which is to go fast, go alone, but to go far, you go together. And I've thought about it, and it's been something that I've shared at different points of my life, but I feel like I never really internalized it until yesterday. And I'm feeling emotional. Like, it just showed me that there's only so much you can do alone. We need our people in our corner. We need the community. There's only so much pushing yourself that you can do. Sometimes you need to let people be there for you and carry you. And through the conversations I had yesterday, that's something that I needed at that time to be able to bring me here and to actually take the steps to bring this vision to life that I've had for so long. If you're a founder, if you're building something, I highly encourage you to find who those people are for you, who can help to pour into you. It doesn't need to be the same people all the time or like some kind of formal mentorship or whatever. Sometimes it's just having conversations with even people who are not even in the industry, who can give you a fresh perspective on what it is that you're building. I just wanted to say to the ladies who poured life into my vision, I just want to say thank you. And it was definitely something that I needed yesterday, and I'm here with fresh life and ready to pour this out. In terms of next steps for me, besides documenting where we're at, I've already got the website, I've got the email list. So if you're not on the email list, what are you doing? Put your name on. I'll put the link below, so no excuses. And as I'm pointing people to the email list, I need to build the email flow. That's what I'm gonna do. And I will book my first interview this week. That's really scary. I have at least two incredible ladies that I know who I'm really excited to be the first two guests on the thread. And yeah, I'm really excited to share their story. See, this is the thing. I've come to learn that I'm a visionary, right? I see the big picture, and it's hard for me to do the step by step and the day by day. You guys keep me accountable, because even when I was like, I'm gonna book the next guest, in my head I'm thinking I'll book one per week, blah 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 blah. But life does happen, so I want to leave room for life, because I want this to be a marathon, not a sprint, because this is something that I genuinely want to pour myself into and to grow and see how far I can go, because I know I have so much potential. I know I have so much to give. It's time for me to tap into it, because I'm done sleeping on myself. This week someone told me that you really could be an influencer. You're not the first person to say this. It looks like The problem here is me in terms of sleeping on myself, and I'm done with that. Okay, action items. Number 1, build out the email flow. I'm going to do that right now. Number 2, book my first guest, and then we'll take it from there. So I'm just taking the next right step. It's funny because I also have a book, Things You Need to Hear Most. It's a collection of poetry and notes that are rooted in self-love. I bring that up not as a shameless plug, but a shameless plug. Link will also be in the description. But I bring that up because this was a project that I spent over a year working on. I don't want to say it took so much out of me, but I poured so much of myself into this. And it was really incredible to me to be able to see that I can have a vision, take the steps to bring it to life, and to actually bring it to life, because it wasn't easy. So one of the things that I was doing as part of bringing this book to life was just taking the next right step. So it's just funny because it's like I've learned all these lessons and I'm now in a different phase, and it's almost relearning those lessons. I know the stuff, but I just gotta apply the stuff because I've done it before. But anyway, I guess that's life, right? I think of it as a spiral staircase. There are some themes that keep coming up, but in different levels. So they come up in different ways, but we keep going up and up and up and ascending. So anyway, the next right step, whatever that is also for you, just take the next right step. It doesn't have to be the perfect step. You don't need to think about all steps 1 to 10. Just think, what do I need to do next in order to keep this moving, and do that. So let me know in the comments, what is your next right step? I think this would be nice. Let's make it an accountability group in a way. So just drop in the comments, what are you working on? What's your next right step? And then next week, we will regroup and discuss. I'll go through the comments. So if you leave stuff there, I'll bring it up next week because I'm keeping you accountable. You keep me accountable and we'll report back. All right. Thank you for joining me this week, and we'll reconnect next week. Bye.